What's up? What's poppin'? What's good? How you doing? Welcome back for another Soul Sunday. So, this week we are in chapter 5 of the Untethered Soul, and it's called Infinite Energy. And it's going to be on page 41. Okay. What you'll see if you watch carefully is that you have a phenomenal amount of energy inside of you. It doesn't come from food and it doesn't come from sleep. This energy is always available to you. At any moment, you can draw upon it. It just wells up and fills you from inside. When you're filled with this energy, you feel like you could take on the world. When it's flowing strongly, you can actually feel it coursing through you in waves. It gushes up spontaneously from deep inside and restores, replenishes, and recharges you. The reason you don't feel this energy all the time is because you block it. You block it by closing your heart, by closing your mind, and by pulling yourself into a restrictive space inside, also known as being a savage in this culture. That means shutting yourself off completely if something happens, like if you go through a bad relationship, you say, I'm cold-hearted, you act like you don't care about nothing, and that really just blocks your blessings, let me tell you. So we'll keep going with that. Some 80-year-old people have the energy and enthusiasm of a child. Energy doesn't get old, it doesn't get tired, and it doesn't need food. What it needs is openness and receptivity. All you have to do is decide whether you are willing to stay open or whether you think it's worth closing. Closing is a habit, and just like any other habit, it can be broken. So just like what we were just talking about, if somebody does something to you and you're like, oh, I'm going to be cold-hearted, I don't want love and all this kind of stuff, instead of taking that from the situation, think of the lesson that it taught you, and when it does happen, how you want to react instead of saying, I'm cutting love off completely. Because cutting love off completely is going to block your blessings. You might be blocking your blessings from a good person because you think that good person is going to do you like the bad person, or not the bad person, the person that was in a bad space did you. And that's not always the case. Anytime you start to close, ask yourself whether you really want to cut off that energy flow. Your innate tendency is to close as a means of protection. But closing your heart does not really protect you from anything. It just cuts you off from your source of energy and your blessings. In the end, it only serves to lock you inside because you're not addressing what this problem or what these problems are bringing up inside of you and the lesson in what's happening. What you'll find is that the only thing you really want from life is to feel enthusiasm, joy, and love. If you can feel that all the time, then who cares what happens outside? If you can always feel up, if you can always feel excited about the experience of the moment, then it doesn't make any difference what the experience is. If you make lists of how the world must be for you to be open, you have limited your openness to those conditions. I'm going to read that again. If you make lists of how the world must be for you to be open, you have limited your openness to those conditions. Better to be open no matter what. Do not let anything that happens in life be important enough that you're willing to close your heart over it. I'm going to say it again. Do not let anything that happens in life be important enough that you're willing to close your heart over it. You know why? Because it was meant to be a lesson. It was meant to show you what we need to correct in ourselves, what boundaries we need to set with other people, so that we are being true to ourselves. Simple as that. If you're always tired and never enthused, then life is no fun. But if you're always inspired and filled with energy, then every minute of every day is an exciting experience. Remember, if you love life, nothing is worth closing over. Nothing ever is worth closing your heart over. So again, before we are done with today's Soul Sunday, how many times have we went through situations and we're just like, I'm never gonna do that again. Like I'm done. And then you're closing yourself. But with my experience in life as well, when I closed myself, I ended up blocking a lot of blessings because I was expecting every situation to be the same when that's not always true. We can learn, we can discern better if another situation happens like that. We can be smarter, but we can still remain open at the same time. So, with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and to all the mothers doing both jobs. Y'all are the real MVPs. I will see you guys next week. All right. Bye.